Greetings, earthlings, and all beings from all realms of existence. Assalamu alaikum to my Muslim brothers and sisters. Shalom to my Hebrew and Jewish brothers and sisters. Greetings to my Catholic, Christian, Baptist, and all denominations of all sorts. Greetings to my religious and my non-religious, my spiritual, my non-spiritual. Greetings to all beings from all realms of existence. I am your honorable host, son of a Sufi, and this is another magical production from the Magical Moonchild 444 channel. Right now, I am going to, excuse me, let me get my vision, let me get my visionary, let me get my visual set up correctly. Okay? So, a while ago, I received a download and I did not want to lose the download, so I actually recorded the download while I was taking a spiritual bath. I did apologize to my audience before recording. I did not wish to offend anyone. And right now, what I am going to do is I'm going to basically pull the audio from that particular video, and I'm going to put the audio to this video. And this video is it's going to be basically just a picture of my late great brother, Derek Lavelle Grant Peterson, and, you know, my setup here with my oracle and tarot cards with the various crystals and stones atop of them. From time to time, I might, go into this closet or whatever. So there'll be little going ons happening, but the audio is what is most important in this particular video. The name of the video is Rectify Your Dishonor. Yes, I received this download while I was stationed in New York, in the town of Lindenville. Beautiful place, beautiful people, beautiful atmosphere, very, very much so nature driven. I stayed across the street from an apple orchard and a cornfield. So pretty much country road, definitely country road. And this download came to me. This is like not right after my awakening, when I began to channel in spirits, and when I began to communicate with various spirits, more specifically my ancestors. I had developed myself an altar, and this is right around that time. Maybe I want to say maybe it's probably 3 weeks to a month into the time after I have received the awakening, where I was communicating with spirits. I hope you enjoy. Bismillah.
The urge to share some downloads that I received, and so as to not allow it to escape my thoughts on my things to do list, I'm going to record them now. I mean, not to offend anyone, but my spirit tells me that they're not going to be able to see anything if I keep the phone back far enough.
This is just
to
me
where they just see
apologizing
me
to
the
visual. I'm going to skip past this.
So, excuse me. we have to be careful as to not disrespect the culture of those who have come before us. They have a certain system and a way of doing things, and that and not disrupt the harmony of such things, because it took them a long time, a struggle, and like real wars to get the guidelines in place. It took a long time for both sides to agree on certain things. And so, there was wars and stuff like that happened previously. And if we don't honor the system, it's like dishonoring those who lost their lives in the fight to bring about the system. That doesn't mean that there's not a better way of doing things. That just means that the people before us are equally as great as us. They're equally as in tune to the divine. They shared some of the same experiences, you know what I'm saying, being called to God. Maybe they didn't recognize it in that context, but some of the same experiences that have happened to us happened to them. It's a cycle. It's, what God does, type of thing. And so we are to respect everything that has come before us because it's divine, right? If it was righteous enough to be put in place, if it was righteous enough to be a part of the community, of the spiritual community, then we are to respect that. If nothing else, you don't have to harbor the same belief system as those before you. You don't have to harbor, the same stance politically, or we know that was like, everybody laughed. Everybody laughed when I said politically, because we all know us spiritual beings, us beings who are in tune, who are aware on any level whatsoever, we know that the only system that matters is that of the divine, is the God system, right? So that system that they have in place is a circus, and it is full of clowns. However, some clowns are more attractive and more connected to the energy of the divine than others. And so the whole system is attractive because of that, because of the players involved, right? But we know spiritually, no one has any control over you except for save for yourself and God. Which basically is one and the same. But you are not God. You are connected to the force. You are connected to God, the energy, so much so that it will confuse some and make some think to themselves, oh, I'm God, because I can do these magnificent things, unaware of the fact that they have been privileged to the access of the power of God. And the privilege is just that. It's a privilege. And when we violate the laws of privilege, we lose the privilege. Just as easily as you have been gifted a gift, it can be removed for violation and to help you to understand that it is outside of yourself. It's a force outside of yourself. It's a force far more extravagant, attractive, sexy, sophisticated. All of these beautiful words that you can use to describe a beautiful person. But the gift is God. It's a godly honor that must be held with a specific conduct of code, a specific code of conduct. Yeah. But sometimes we let our ego get the best of us, and we start thinking that it is I who's doing these things. It is I who's attracting this attention. It is I who has, I'm the reason why I have this many views or that many views, unaware that it is all the power of the divine, right? They're attracted to the God spark within inside of you. It's not you personally. And if the God spark is removed, they will no longer be attracted to you. So there's this tug of war with our ego, but only when we defeat the urge of vanity do we accomplish balance and are rewarded with the honor to continuously hold our spiritual position and therefore keep the gift. You have to be honorable enough to receive the gift. And if you dishonor that connection, the gift is removed. It's done to help you understand that it is from God. And as easily as it has been given to you, it can be taken away from you if you do not conduct yourself to a certain set of laws, spiritual laws. So that's why you see people, they'll rise to fame and they'll have a time where they're famous and then they'll fall. The fall only happens. Well, okay, now I'm being told this. So the fall sometimes happens. The fall can happen when you lose the battle with your ego. But there'll be plenty of opportunities to fall, because in order to be honorable enough to harness the gifts of God, you have to be of a certain caliber, and you have to be able to withstand the unwithstandable. Everyone has a limit. Your limit has to be higher above that. Everyone has a limit to where they can go before they snap or whatever. You have to be without limits. Oh wow. You have to be without limit. Your faith in the perfection of God's will protects you from caring too much about anything. And so therefore you don't get stressed. You don't undergo anxiety and all of these things because you know that everything happens according to God's will, and that God's will is perfection. So for you to fret over what is happening in your life is kind of like not having faith in God. However, there are certain things that we must do in order to produce a certain way of life that we would like to have. So this combination of free will and God's will. God's will gave you free will, and your choices determine your reality. Your choices determine your reality, which means that you are ultimately have a level of control of your reality. Power given to you by God and must be respected as such, because when you disrespect it, you lose it. So, yeah, you can produce the reality that you want, but if you abuse that power in any shape, form, or fashion at any time in your existence, it can and will be revoked, but you can always get it back. No, they said not always, but most of the time. Okay. Most of the time you can get it back. Some things are final. Some laws are unforgivable if you break them type deal. I don't even want to know what that could possibly be. Like, that is terrifying, because when you think about how forgiving God really is, when you think about how many chances He's willing to give you, when you think about how many opportunities He's willing to produce you with, when you think about how much love that He's willing to put in your path, it's scary that there is something that we can do that is unforgivable and you can't come back from it. That's scary. I don't even want to know what it is. It's gotta be like, just when you hear it, it's have to put you on a frequency of complete mental chaos, like a psychotic psychosis, because it's that horrific, right? But where was I? Yeah, so we are to respect our elders, and that means obliging by their culture. I'll give you an example. If you, said person, was to allow a spiritual being to put their energy, you pay the spiritual being to put protective energy inside of an object so that you can purchase. When you get that object, it's up to you to properly cleanse your space and introduce that energy to the energies that are already in place. There has to be an introduction, and it is up to you. And you have to follow through. You can't allow somebody to put energy into something and then not accept or not utilize the object. This hinders the energy of the person who put it in there, and you will cause them distress. And you thinking that they don't know is disrespectful to spiritual beings everywhere, because that's like saying I have the connection and you don't have the connection. So yes, they know. They are aware that you have not been properly utilizing an object that they put their energy into, because it's tugging on their energy. Not in a positive way, by the way. So it's up to you to rectify that. Properly introduce the energy of that object to the energy of the objects that you already have in place, and create harmony amongst the energies. It is vital. Yes, vital. If you do not do this, it's like disrespecting God. Right? Because there's nothing that the person who put the energy into the object that they sold to you, there's absolutely nothing they can do about what they're going through. Because what they're going through is due to their direct connection to God. See? So it makes it, they could like you a lot. But if you do something like that, there's nothing that they can do to further assist you until you rectify that. Right? Thank God for second chances. Thank God for free will and the ability to be able to rectify when you are dishonoring the will of God. And now I have to actually clean, and they say, y'all can't see that part. And I'm sure my wife would agree.
Okay, so that was the end of it. Like I say, I'm new to the spiritual community in this lifetime. I am new to tarot reading in this lifetime. In the past life, my spirit told me that I was one of the best tarot readers, hands down. So right now I'm trying to sustain a connection with my higher self. I'm in the process of attempting to attain a connection with my highest self. Yeah. Have your higher self, a higher self, a higher self. I'm trying to attain a connection with my highest self, meaning destination, Christ consciousness. It's like you're right there with God. You're in communication, constant communication with God. Direct. There's no need to figure out, what's coming through, where it's coming from. You're directly connected. You're in tune. The volume's all the way turned up. The voices are clear as day. Yes, and most of us spiritual beings are in search for balance and conscious elevation. There are many things that we can do to help facilitate this process. Your thoughts. Your thoughts are one of the most important tools that you can utilize to raise your vibration. Everything begins with a thought. All of creation. There are various other ways you can raise your vibration, focusing in and trying to improve your diet, improve your physical well-being, improve your emotional well-being, love yourself, meditate, exercise, meditate, connect with God's source. Ask God to direct you. Ask and ye shall receive. When I was growing up, I used to take that statement for granted. When I got older and I had a few spiritual awakenings, I now realize that that statement is literal. Ask and ye shall receive. Now, you do have to be open to the form of communication and confirmation from the universe. So you have to be in tune to a certain degree to even recognize the answer when it arrives. But it will arrive. I would like to thank everyone again for subscribing to the channel, for directing others to subscribe to the channel, for basically promoting the channel on your own accord, by your own will. It is most greatly appreciated, and you will be sent light and love for all of your contributions. Criticism is welcomed. It is encouraged. Criticism, yes. For how else will I ever know how to improve on my channel? How else will I know what areas of which I need improvement in? All criticism is welcomed. All guidance is welcome. Although I have not received much guidance from other spiritualists. More specifically, I don't even, okay, Spirit is telling me that with tarot, it's kind of like either you get it or you don't, and everyone gets it in a different manner. So as far as tarot readers, contacting me and maybe giving suggestions and things of that nature, it's kind of along the lines of like, there's a probationary period, and if you don't make it past that probationary period, it's like confirmation that you were not supposed to be there in the first place. So until I make it to wherever, I don't know if it's like some type of mark or something, I will not be receiving guidance in that manner, and that's fine. Various tarot readers out there have actually contributed to my tarot channel indirectly or unaware. I have the tarot community is a part of my evolution. I have always known in my spirit that tarot resonates with my spirit. However, it wasn't until this last awakening that I realized that tarot literally runs through my veins. It's in my blood. My ancestors. It's a part of my ancestral culture. As a few other things, we should be mindful as to stay open and not limit ourselves spiritually. Some people are under the belief that they're solely an empath or solely a seer or solely a channeler. We all have access to these abilities. However, various bloodlines are better, or not. I don't think better is the word. Various bloodlines are stronger with various abilities. Like some bloodlines, the fire magic is like the thing. Some bloodlines, the candle magic is strong. The mirror magic is stronger. Black magic, white magic. It all depends on your ancestors and your ancestral culture. So I just would like to tell everyone, I love you unconditionally, forever, sincerely, from the bottom of my heart to the top and the sides. This has been another production from the Magical Moonchild 444. I am your honorable host, son of a Sufi. Thank you. And I love you. Assalamu alaikum.